This is going to be a quick video on a few things you can do throughout your home to help reduce your risk of being stung by a scorpion. Now, I just want to throw out a disclaimer here. Obviously, the number one thing to do is have a really good pest control company. That's no secret. Everybody knows that eliminating scorpions' food source is going to help keep the scorpions down. And there's even some products that specifically target scorpions now, so those are all great things to have. Keep up on that. Make sure you're doing your routine maintenance, and that's going to help reduce your scorpion sightings. Now, in addition to that, I'm going to show you just a few things you can do throughout your home. May seem a little bit extreme in some cases, but if you have little ones or elderly, someone that has a hypersensitivity, maybe someone that's been stung once or twice, so they have a pretty good chance of their next sting is going to hit that anaphylactic reaction, right? So these are the homes we want to really make sure that we're doing a lot of these things to help significantly reduce, if not eliminate, our chance of being stung. So first thing I'm going to talk about is baseboard. I happen to be removing some baseboard right now and putting some in, so I'm going to show you. This is your standard baseboard you see in most homes. It has all kinds of little grooves on it, and it's essentially a scorpion ladder. So the bark scorpions, the main one we're concerned about, and they're really good climbers. This type of baseboard just presents an easy way for that scorpion to hit this baseboard, climb right up it, and then it hits your wall, and now it's off and going, right? It can go all kinds of places. So I don't want to creep you out too much, but obviously they can get into cribs, they can get on top of your vanity, they can get into beds. So we want to try to keep them off the wall as much as possible. And an easy way to do that is just switch out your baseboard. So this is a 4.5-inch baseboard. You can see it has a very smooth surface. It doesn't have a lot of trim work to it. It just has a nice little beveled edge at the top. Even this, what I'm installing here, it does have some pretty ornate trim work at the top, but there's a pretty good surface that is nice and smooth. And so that's going to help reduce a chance of the scorpion being able to get on the walls from the baseboard. So we're going to install this baseboard, and then I'll show you some other things as well. Okay, so take a look at this. I know this is pretty creepy, but you can see this is the drywall installed here. The baseboard's been removed, so there's about a 1/2-inch gap that this drywall is setting up. Now, that's by design. They don't want drywall sitting on the floor, because then if there's any type of water leak, it's going to hit this drywall, and the drywall is just going to sponge that water right up. It's going to soak it all up, and then your drywall is being damaged. So it's typically left off the floor just for that reason. Unfortunately, that creates a nice little highway for all your little critters to just run along inside underneath the drywall. All right, so I just finished applying the silicone caulking. I did the top. I ran the bead in the corner, and I also came back through and put a nice bead along the base of the baseboard. Now, this obviously is aesthetically pleasing, right? It's the look we're going for anyway. It's nice and clean. But on top of that, it also is closing off that highway I talked about behind this baseboard, that 1/2-inch opening from the drywall. All those bugs now, there shouldn't be too many anyway, but now none of them have any access into the house, right? Into this way. We've sealed them off completely.
Okay, don't panic. Remember, you're just watching a video, but I want to demonstrate something here. I've placed a 2x4 at about a 40-degree angle, and then I applied a 2-inch wide strip of clear packing tape. And what you're going to see is that the scorpion will climb up the 2x4. As soon as he hits the packing tape, he cannot move forward. He just can't get across it. It's too smooth a surface, and they can't get any traction. So this is a really cheap and easy way to keep scorpions at bay. So if you have a crib, I highly recommend you take some packing tape and wrap it around the base of the crib, or any furniture you want to keep scorpions off of.
Vent cover. I just want to show you something. A lot of people talk about how scorpions fall right out of the attic through their vent. So it's not exactly true. Your ducts should be sealed. If they're not sealed, you've got a bigger problem than scorpions. So the scorpions aren't actually getting into your ductwork. What they're doing is they're actually, see this little opening right here? They're actually making their way from the attic through these openings right here. So you can see this one, look at that. That drywall is all broken apart right there. And there's an easy opening for a scorpion to make its way. So they make their way down, they fall on top of this grate, and then they'll drop out of your vent. I'm just gonna take a little bit of silicone caulking, and I'm gonna fill in this all the way around and completely block off that opening. Okay, here's a smoke detector, or a smoke alarm. And you can see there's another gap right here, and you know this electrical work goes up into the attic. So I'm gonna run some sealant along this side as well. All right, so here's another one. Again, probably on the line of overkill, but there is a possibility for, I'm sure you heard that hey buddy, the bark scorpions, they can drop down to like the width of a, go lay down, go on. The width of a credit card, right? The thickness of a credit card. So there's a small little opening in the back of your outlet. Roger, go lay down, buddy. Go lay down. Okay. All right. Okay. So, thank you. Thank you. So there's a small little opening back there behind that outlet where your wire comes through, and they actually do have access. Believe it or not, it is possible. Very unlikely, but it is possible. So again, okay, lay down so we can see. Can you down? Good boy. So what we're going to do, you're going to just take your plate, put your wall plate on. You should already have one on there. Shouldn't have to touch it. You can secure the power if you'd like. I'm just going to take a little bit of silicone caulking and just come right around the edge on it. Just a nice little bead. So you've probably never seen underneath your toilet, and I'm sure you don't want to, but there is a pretty significant gap. So I'm going to come through and seal that as well. Take a look at yours. I'm sure it's already sealed, but just make sure that it's a complete seal. There isn't any cracks or anything like that in it.
Okay, so I think you get the idea at this point. Just go around your house, take a look at what needs to be done. The weather stripping on the door is always something that maybe needs to be re-glued or even replaced altogether. Go to your exterior, take a look at your block wall, look for any gaps or cracks, seal those in. Maybe it hasn't even been done at all. A lot of times they don't even seal it at all. Great stuff, works really well. There's like 3 different types of expansion foam you can use. There's small foam, there's exterior foam. Do your vents outside. A lot of times those get to start to deteriorate in the sun, so they need to be replaced. But again, just take a look around. And another good idea too is even your garage door. A lot of times the seal on the bottom of your garage door doesn't work that well, so you can get a replacement stripping along the bottom. And don't forget about places that you can't see also. This is behind the washer and dryer. There's lots of plumbing back there, and of course there's water, so make sure you move some stuff out and take a good look. That's pretty much it. I hope you find some useful information in this video. I hope it's helpful. I'm not claiming to be an expert. I'm just passionate about helping to reduce the risk of scorpion stings. I've seen some pretty bad ones, and I don't ever want to see another one. So if you need any help with this project, let me know. I don't have a lot of free time, but my services are free if you need it, especially if you have somebody that's in the high risk category. I'll certainly do what I can to help you out.